Okay, so good day, everyone. Welcome to this webinar recording for the RFP 112, also known as the Online Community Resource Portal for Children and Families. The purpose of today's webinar is to go over ideally what is being asked in the RFP and also give you guys the opportunity to watch this recording and then follow up with any questions that you may have. In a quick overview, agenda of today's webinar, we'll do a round of welcome and introductions, go over program review, the scope of work and requirements, proposal content, submission and evaluation, along with due dates, and then questions and answers. All right, so for introductions, I am Tanisha Hope. I am currently overseeing this RFP. And I am within the Bureau of SDO8, so Social Determinants of Health. Shayla?
Hello, everyone. My name is Shayla Owens. I'm also in the Bureau of Social Determinants of Health as a Children and Family Service Specialist.
And hello, everybody. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Theodore Chmielewski. I'm with the Bureau of Contract Management. I will be presenting some slides later about some administrative information that applicants might find helpful. And doing the driving and playing the slides, we also have Allison Taylor from the Bureau of Contract Management. So thank you, Allison, for doing the driving today.
All right, and we do ask folks to submit questions. You can submit questions two ways, via email or via hard copy, with the email address provided there, so funding@ocfs.ny.gov, or hard copy to the address listed here. Procurement overview. So OCFS is seeking competitive proposals for an online platform that will serve as a connection point and resource hub for our LDSS staff. This new online platform aims to support child welfare work with counties that provide and administer a range of publicly funded social services to individuals and their families. This platform will also give LDSS child welfare staff access to a network of community providers willing to donate the requested items to meet the family in their most vulnerable time of need. The calendar of events. So this is also mentioned within the RFP. As you are aware, we did issue the RFP on February 6th. This recording will be made available around the 20th of February, giving you guys until the 27th to respond with questions that you might have, followed by written responses, which will be provided back to you guys by March 20th. And the deadline for the actual proposal is April 3rd at 4 p.m. So please be mindful of that if you are in a different time zone. It is 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Notification of award will be shared no earlier than May 15th. And then the contract start date is slated for no earlier than July 1st. Funding. So this RFP is being funded through the Child Abuse and Neglect Grant, also referred to as NCAN, and this really helps to elevate the work that is mentioned in the Family First Prevention Services Act. One award will be given for this procurement, and this procurement covers all of New York State outside of New York City, so that's all rest of state counties in New York. Applicants must submit a proposal that serves all 57 counties. Additionally, this contract term will be 3 years with the anticipated start date of July 1st, 2025. Contractors should not begin to provide services until the contract start date. Once again, until that start date, we ask folks not to complete or start any work. And then also payments cannot be made prior to the formal execution of contract and approval by OSC. All right, so section 3.1 eligibility. All bidders must meet the following minimum requirements. You must be registered with the New York State Department of State as a domestic or foreign business entity in New York State as of the application submission deadline. So I believe that's April 3rd. You must also agree to satisfy each of the requirements listed in the RFP section 3.1, minimum qualifications, and the RFP section 4.0, scope of work. Okay. We are also asking folks to provide attachment 3, which refers to experience template. This documents, vendors that have at least 3 years of experience delivering this type of platform. We also ask folks to be, open to providing proof if we do request it in a timely manner. And then we are asking for attachment 4, so at least 3 satisfactory references, stating that you have served over 5,000 individuals, family units included, via, a similar online platform resource hub. Also, your proposal must comply with all New York State ITS policies, FedRAMP, and the New York Secure System Development Lifecycle Standard. So as you can see, you can go onto these hyperlinks and then, learn more about what that actually means in those guidances. You must also agree to provide an environment and an application capable of logging events in accordance with New York State login standard. Once again, auditing and reporting purposes.
And now we will move on to the scope of work and requirements. The online platform must have the following capabilities: to provide and store information related to case management services, such as confidential family and household information, to utilize a user-friendly drop-down selection layout, tracking of needs requests, ability to provide analytical reports, and to allow users to reset their own passwords, usernames, and email addresses as needed. There are 3 main components: service, providing technical support to the 57 New York State counties outside of New York City, as identified in this RFP, to create and conduct virtual and in-person trainings for new and pre-existing LDSS child welfare staff, caseworkers, and supervisors on how to use the platform, and to continuously building upon the networks of responding agencies and partners willing to assist families in times of need in each of the 57 counties. This includes, but is not limited to, religious organizations, local businesses, nonprofits, and civic organizations. Our deliverables: 1, successful development, testing, and delivery of a securely managed online community resource portal. 2, facilitation of onboarding and training for new and existing LDSS child welfare staff. 3, to provide an active platform accessible to all users 24/7 with technical support and help desk services for all users. 4, to apply planned system and site maintenance and updates. 5, to organize and host at least 1 virtual orientation or training session for the launch of each county. And 6, to perform statistical analysis, monitoring, and reporting. For example, these are requests for resources received, fulfilled, number of community partners, and families served. Confidentiality is key. The chosen vendor must agree to safeguard the confidentiality of identifiable information relating to individuals and their families who may receive services in the course of this partnership, ensuring that each member of family maintains their dignity and self-worth throughout their time of vulnerability. Any breach of confidentiality by the vendor, its agents, or representatives shall be cause for immediate termination of this agreement.
Hello again. My name is Theodore Chmielewski from the OCFS Bureau of Contract Management, and we would like to share relevant information regarding proposal content and submission process to encourage the successful submission of as many complete and high-quality proposals as possible. So RFP Section 5, Proposal Requirements, provides a lot of important information to facilitate the application process. First, applicants should download and complete the documents and forms available on the OCFS website or the New York State Contract Reporter. Both websites have the same content. You may use the resources from either one. Please refer to RFP Section 5.0 to ensure that all required documents are completed and provided with your submission. We highly recommend that you double-check and crosswalk this section against your proposal prior to your submission. Section 5.3 outlines items that must be included in your administrative proposal, which is part 1 of your application, as well as additional items that are recommended to be included, such as proof of online vendor responsibility certifications. Completing and providing these with your application will help speed up the contract development process if you are selected for award, so this is very encouraged. The links to download these forms are all located in the RFP document in Section 5.3. Part 2 of your application will be the technical proposal. So the comprehensive outline for this is found in Section 5.4 of the RFP. When considering how your organization will provide the services, remember to think about and incorporate all aspects of the scope of work and all program requirements that are discussed in Section 4.0 of the RFP. So please be sure to keep a copy of your documents for future reference. If you are awarded a contract from this RFP, the application you submit will be the basis for the work plan and the contract that will be developed for you to provide these services. The details for your cost proposal are found in Section 5.5 of the RFP. You should complete and provide the Attachment 2 Cost Proposal, which is a deliverable-based budget. It is necessary for all applicants to provide an annual cost for each deliverable for each year of the project. Please do not leave any highlighted fields in the budget attachment blank. Due to being a best value procurement, we encourage all applicants to keep their costs as low as possible, as the costs of all proposals are compared against each other, with the lowest cost receiving the maximum cost score, with more expensive proposals receiving a proportional lower number of points using the mathematical formula. Please refer to Section 6.0 of the RFP for more information about the evaluation process if you're interested in learning more. All applicants will email their complete submissions by the date and time specified in RFP Section 1.2, Calendar of Events. Please attach all supporting documents to your email submission. The applicant's organization name and address should appear in the body of your email to make it so you can be easily identified. All required supporting documentation must be submitted via email, or your application may be incomplete and potentially disqualified. No faxed or hard copy documents will be accepted. Please refer to the RFP to ensure all required documents are complete and submitted to OCFS properly. Email delivery receipts are highly recommended. OCFS will reply confirming that your proposal has been received, generally speaking within 24 hours. Applicants are responsible for contacting OCFS prior to the submission deadline if you have not received confirmation from OCFS. So for our recommended approach, first, please download the RFP and all attachments. We recommend that you read the RFP and become familiar with it. Second, please complete all required forms and documents. So we highly recommend that folks start this process early. You can also gather any administrative information requested while you're working on your documents. So we also highly recommend that all prospective applicants please add funding at ocfs.ny.gov to your address book in your email client to ensure that you receive all official communications from OCFS. When your documents are prepared and you're ready to apply, please submit the supporting documents by attaching the files to the emails and sending that to funding@ocfs.ny.gov prior to the deadline. Please double check your proposal against all of the requirements outlined in Section 5.0 of the RFP. OCFS will respond providing a receipt that your attachments were received. So one additional thing we would like to mention, please ensure that you attach your documents to the email. Providing third-party links from file hosting services, for example, cannot be used because you are not actually transmitting the documents to OCFS. Due to Information Technology Services guidelines, we are prohibited from clicking those third-party links due to security or vulnerability reasons. So you must transmit the documents to the OCFS email servers in order to count as being received. So as I mentioned earlier, the evaluation process is outlined in RFP Section 6.0. So the eligibility review, or a pass-fail determination, is where the mandatory requirements outlined in Section 3.1, minimum qualifications, are evaluated. All proposals found to be valid that pass the eligibility review will move forward to the evaluation team to receive numerical, technical, and cost scores. The final score will be based on the average of the reviewer scores. Our funding award recommendation is going to be based on the highest ranked application with the highest composite score, which will be your cost score plus your technical score. So please refer to the RFP for additional information about that process. The last topic we would like to discuss is the application deadline to submit your proposals. The deadline is specified in RFP Section 1.2, Calendar of Events, and is referenced in several places throughout the RFP. This is a hard, strict deadline, so please be mindful of the timeline and start your application process early. All of your documents must be received prior to this deadline. So we recommend to work on your applications early and preferably submitting your applications at least 48 hours before the due date. Submitting early will leave you time to deal with technical issues or errors should you encounter any. Internet outages, system slowdowns, or computer crashes could potentially occur at any time. None of these are considered valid justification for submitting a late proposal. So we recommend applicants to make backups of their documents. If you encounter any technical issues or problems with submitting your application, staff from OCFS will do our best to assist you. However, please know that we require time to provide assistance, and there might not be enough time to help you troubleshoot your issues that you might be encountering if you wait until the last day to submit. It's important that we hold all applicants to the competitive funding opportunity to the same standards, so the deadline is the deadline. So to briefly recap, Section 3.1 minimum qualifications and the corresponding eligibility questions in Section 5.0 are very important, and you must satisfy every requirement to be considered for funding. As you work on your proposals, please take advantage of the guidance and other materials and do your best to submit your application early. If you do not receive a confirmation email from OCFS within 24 hours, please contact us prior to the application deadline to ensure that we've properly received your materials. As mentioned in an earlier slide, we encourage all prospective applicants to submit questions to us via email. The methods on this slide are the only communication methods that can be used. Outside communication or contacting other parties at OCFS may constitute a reportable incident and could potentially jeopardize the outcome of this procurement and any resulting awards. So all communications must be channeled to the procurement funding mailbox at funding@ocfs.ny.gov as instructed by the RFP. The last date to submit questions is February 27th. Please review the RFP document and materials and send any questions you might have so you don't miss this opportunity. Written responses to questions will be posted on or about March 20th. The questions and answers can be downloaded from the locations specified on this page, the OCFS Funding Opportunities website, or the New York State Contract Reporter. As mentioned earlier, all documents published to these locations are the same, so you can use whichever site is most convenient for you. We will also post the slides from this presentation alongside the questions and answers in both of these locations.
So we thank you all for joining the webinar, for listening, taking time out to watch, taking time out to follow up with questions. As Ted mentioned, if you do have questions, please reach out to the appropriate channels as mentioned in this recording. So thank you once again for joining us.